Welcome back to the Johnny Shield Detailing live videos. The sun is shining. It's a glorious, glorious Monday afternoon here in sunny Slough. And so, what not a better time to test a new product out from Gtechniq. As you can see, from the beginning, 5 years ago when I started this industry, I started using Gtechniq, and that was because I was working in a unit 2 years ago. I applied my first ceramic coating, which was crystal serum light, and the rest is history. I was absolutely hooked on ceramic coating technology and coating vehicles and polishing vehicles and protection. And so here we are 5 years later, where I've had the opportunity to get ahead of you lot and get a product sent out to me, which is called Hydrocoat. And that is by Gtechniq. Now, they've thrown their hat in the ring because obviously we know that ceramic sealants now, SiO2 based sealants, have been so popular with detailers and enthusiasts across the board. And we know that it's overtaking waxes. And so while this is now a faster and more efficient way of detailing and getting on your vehicle, and hopefully, you know, these kind of protection systems are really good for your car, that's to be seen. It's now we're in a situation where detailing is just getting faster and faster and faster. So with Gtechniq, they didn't have this Hydrocoat in their range. They did have a product called ceramic sealant, which is their C2 V3. And they've now, with the launch of Hydrocoat, brought out C2 V4. So we're looking forward to reviewing that when that comes out as well. And so, let me grab the box, let me show you what's inside, and let me go through a few little details. Because like I said, this isn't available yet until the 14th of April. And so, I was under a content embargo, so I was waiting for that to finish, and today it finished. And so we got the first chance to get this product out to you guys as soon as possible. And the best way of doing that is with no nonsense and doing it live, because then you get to see no editing, no stress, no harm, no foul. And this hasn't even been opened yet, as you can see. And so behind me, we have a Land Rover Discovery. This was the first vehicle I ever applied a ceramic coating to, and that was 4 years ago now. And it's still going strong. Well, I thought it was, but after washing it today, it's pretty much flat. And so we're going to do a little bit of online testing, so you can see onboard testing, so you'll be able to see up close, unfortunately, how flat this car is. And unfortunately, it's starting to die, and it's definitely due a top up. And so one of the things about Hydrocoat, and probably about wet coats you probably don't know, is they're more sufficient to be used in the winter months. This is when protection systems and these kind of things are much easier, because no one's really got the time, or it's not the conditions, to really start applying products in those conditions. Because who wants to apply a wax or anything like that when it's absolutely freezing cold? The one thing you want is to get it in and get it out. And some of the biggest popular brands on the market so far when it comes to wet coats is literally Gyeon Wet Coat. And so Gyeon and ceramic with Hydrocoat, Gtechniq have thrown a hat in the ring to basically provide a product that really can compete, hopefully, with wet coat. And obviously we know wet coat is such synonymous product across the world with its performance and stuff, but it does have its drawbacks. And some of those drawbacks is, in a lot of videos you see on YouTube, is the stuff that it leaves behind. And so with any hydro product, you need to make sure you give this a really good shake. You need to make sure you don't, these have probably been sat in boxes and sat in shelves for a long time. And so while I watched the onboard sort of like talk this morning with the Gtechniq guys, they've been having this out for about 18 months now. So it's been in beta testing with loads of detailers. And so it's going to be interesting to see what it's like. The protection time on it is 3 months. So they boast about 3 months with it. That's obviously depending on the climate and the variables you're in, but they say a good 3 months is base. So that's going to be interesting to test, but I can't test that today because obviously this is the first time we're going to get seeing it. And so going through the process of what you're going to be doing in a scenario is you're going to be washing your car, and this is the final step. So you're going to go down with the rinse, and it's going to be working like a drying aid. But the thing is, what is the difference between C2 V3 and Hydrocoat, and where do they separate? Why do you not need the both? Well, this is more specifically designed as a drying aid. Even though this boasts up to 6 months protection, this performs better when it's applied dry to the vehicle and as a topper to a coating. So obviously ceramic with CSL, you then got obviously crystal serum light, you then got EXO, and then obviously you've got ceramic sealant, which actually can top off EXO. So you've got almost like 3 layers, you've got a stacking system. Hydrocoat's very different. This is basically sorted for a water repellency to give a really high contact angle, and it's great for an unprotected vehicle and a fast, effective thing. So as much as you can spray this on as a drying aid, they're very slightly different. There's a little bit of nuance there. There's a slight difference with them both. And so we're going to give this a little quick wash, a little quick tickle. It's already clean already, but I just want to show you for camera just some of the setups. And so what we've got in here, I want to show you some of the water behavior. We've got ourselves, as you can see, some G-wash in here. So we're just going to unplug this. And if you've got any questions in the comment section, at the end of this video, we're going to go through some of the comments and see if I can answer any of those comments. So let's just pull this out of the way. We're not going to faff around too long with this. We're just going to get this on, give it a little wash and get it off. And then obviously we can get on to spraying the vehicle. But I just want to go for those guys at home that haven't detailed before or washing their vehicle, or they're new to the channel and they're unsure about how, in what certain setting they want to use this on. Absolutely perfect. But the most important thing, do not apply any detailing products in the wet, in the sun. The reason why we're now facing this way is because we've got a shaded area. Why is that? Well, if you think about water spotting happens because there's minerals in the water and they get stuck to the paint, and that can, unfortunately, in a bad situation, can end up with having to machine polish the paint. So we don't want to do that. And so if you think water could be that bad, chemicals could be just as bad. So cool, dry scenarios, plenty of shaking of the product. That is going to set you up in a great start to start with. So let's plumb this on. So in the bottle, we've got 50 mils of G-Wash to 400 mils of water, which is a standard kind of ratio for most shampoo products that go in the market. So G-Wash is a really, really super slick product. Very, 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 very slick. And as you can see already, look at the dissipation. You can tell how slick it is because look, it's already dissipating down the panel nicely. You can see that's working out really, really well. And you want, when you're getting this foam, what you want to see from a nice foam is you want to see, like, if you've enjoyed a good pint of beer, a good lager, what you want is to see that you're going to get this nice build up of foam at the bottom, but you're starting to get this nice separation at the top. That's how you know you've done a really good job of getting good foam on a vehicle. As you can see, look at the head, just like a perfect pint. You can see the way that it's separated through the vehicle. And so I use the 3-foam method. I use a citrus pre-wash, rinse that off, and then I go through a snow foam process, and then I go for a shampoo process. So I use cannons. They're very, very fast for me and effective. Obviously, we're not going to get into the controversy about versus sprays, liquids, foam cannons, sprayers, IK sprayers, all that sort of stuff. We're going to stick to just staying on point with what we got. In this bucket, we've got some G-Wash. As you can see, that's already ready to go. And if you're at home, you're someone who's never washed a car before, and you're interested in some of the tools I've got, we're going to leave them down in the description. This is a new product out that I'm really, really pleased to use at the moment, called Sponge Guru. And these are, so far that I've been testing, are so soft, they're absolutely unbelievable. And so I'll leave some affiliate links down at the bottom, so if you're interested in those products. And so, like I said, when you're washing the vehicle from top to bottom, making sure you do the wash. Whether you're like me and you like a 2-bucket or 1 bucket won't kill you as long as you do a good pre-wash. But like I said, if you are a beginner, there's plenty of videos on my channel on how to do the 2-bucket method. And you can use them to help you get into it. But when it comes to a professional, no problem at all, because you're always taking a nice bit of liquid from the top, a nice bit of foam, and you've got no problem at all. And if you want to use the 1-bucket method, let's keep detailing fun and let's keep it interesting, because at the end of the day, we're cleaning cars, not saving lives. Nice little rinse out, there we go. And so this is the part of the process where you're literally just layering it on, working a panel at a time. Once you finish a panel, going back to the bucket, finishing it off. And so in a maintenance scenario, if the car's looking like it's started to die off, which will bring you in closer for a little look, it's the hydrophobic properties and see if this coating's up or down. There we go. So, give this a quick little rinse. Who doesn't love Santorini paint, by the way? Gloss black. The fleck on these Land Rovers is absolutely unbelievable. These are such a dream to polish, by the way. Not the easiest to finish down though, I've got to be honest. They can be super sticky. That's a whole other video. Defenders and all these kind of Range Rovers models, the glass comes with a coating in it, so always be aware not to spray these products on the glass surfaces, because what you want to do is you don't want to affect the visibility of well, you just want to don't affect the visibility full stop. Windscreens, glass, all throughout. These have got coatings built into them anyway, so you don't need to be applying it there. And also, if you've got carbon ceramic brakes, please, please, please stop using hydrophobic chemicals on your brake systems. That's like putting Vaseline on your gear knob, on your steering brakes in the car. Just stay away from it. If you're going to apply protection, apply it using a cloth, apply it using the original methods, lay it on that way. Try not to get anything near any of this safety component, because at the end of the day, as much as it's unlikely anything bad's going to happen, you will cause some real serious damage on carbon ceramic brakes. But just in general, stay away from those areas, because it's just not worth the stress and hassle. And so I'm going to go through a couple of methods now with the Hydrocoat, and I'm going to show you some of the tips I've used when I've used Geon Wet Coat and some other wet-based products that you might come into a few problems, and so it might show you how to fix it. But we're going to dry this off as well in the end and see how much protection we got. And if, as we can see, I'll bring you in a bit closer. Get you in a bit closer so you can actually see this up close. Okie dokie, dokie dokie. That's it. This is the most important bit. This is what you come here for. Not all this absolute waffle. You want to know about all this waffle? And obviously with all these products, make sure you wear protective eyewear and all that sort of stuff. Safety information is always key. That's it. There we go. Turn the trigger to on, and we're just going to spray this on the panel. Very nice indeed. And so, as we can see, we're gonna literally rinse that off right now. We're not going to leave that on for too long, because it is literally what we've ended up with. We'll do a little side-to-side comparison as well. Oh yes. Exciting. Let's get you in there. Let's get you in. That's nice. So I always recommend when you're rinsing a spray-in sealant that you spray from bottom to top. This means you can push the coating up the panel. So I'm just going to apply a little bit more just for you guys to see. Nothing major, just that's enough. Couple of sprays. And all you should do is literally just work out the panel like that. Work it out. That is absolutely... Look at the difference. Super flat, really flat. Absolute speed in heaven. Look at that. That's impressive. That is seriously impressive. Let's do a few more sprays, shall we? Let's see how it is. And so, if you'd be interested in to do more and more videos to basically see if we can actually apply this via a snow foam lance onto the vehicle. But yeah, this this is going a long way. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a graph in a minute on the contact angles. I'm going to show you on camera exactly the leaflet I got and showing you the difference in contact angles, which is very, very hard to measure with eyesight. But like I said, and also it's very, very hard to measure durability claims. So this is great. This is my neighbour's car, so I get the opportunity to see this in real world. But just so, I mean, it's just nothing to it at all going anywhere. It's mental. But you just see, you can literally see what I want from a wet coat product. It's doing. That's what it's doing. You can literally see as soon as it hits the panel. And the fact that sometimes, you know, people use way too much and you get that kind of like water spotting feeling. I mean, I'm very lucky that I use spotless water, so that does have a real impact on the result. And so if you are using a rinse aid like a spotless water or a deionized water or something like that to rinse your car off, that's going to be really helpful. But what I'm going to show you is this right now. So what we're going to do is we're literally going to spray the cloth with some of the drying aid. Looking at how well that's performed, I've probably put way too much on there. And we're literally just going to give this a little rinse. Just a little dampening. And if you have problems with a certain type of vehicle, and you'll probably see it more on black vehicles, you won't see it on white vehicles and stuff, but just applying some of that product, you can just, before you rinse off, you can just level that down if you want. Just level it off. So it's on the cloth, using a damp cloth just to level this off. There's a great little tip for you if you come to any sticky situations. Straight away, look, and look. It's almost acting like a drying aid. Phenomenal. Look at that. That's impressive. That's almost dry. That's crazy. Okay, let's see. Excuse me. Ah. Come on in. Come on, let's get you in here. Come have a look. That's seriously impressive. Love this. Love, love, love this. Everything I want. Look, that water performance from the windows and the glass that was already there, it's completely uniform now. It matches perfectly. Oh, very impressed. Oh, I'm really impressed with that. Yeah, so far so good. I'm seriously impressed with that. But let's see the next test, which is going to be interesting. Is the blow dry test. Let's get in with the blow dryer. Let's just use a normal car dryer and see if we can get into this and get that dried off. Let's big shout out to Flex this year, who we've seen more and more features on my channel. Let's get stuck in. That's the real biggest test, guys, because I'm not using a really powerful blow dryer there. And so when you've got a really, really superior contact angle, a dryer like this is good. It's good, but it's no blow or big boy or nothing like that. That is performing just like a ceramic coating should. Absolutely just like it. Yep. Very fast, very efficient. Can't really tell by the gloss levels because obviously cars like this are super glossy anyway. But that's dried off really, really quick and looks absolutely phenomenal. So let me just do a quick roundup on you and I'll let you go back to your day-to-day services. Let me just give you a quick breakdown of some of the stuff that Gtechniq talk about in their video today, which you can go and check out on their Gtechniq YouTube channel, which will be interesting for you guys to see if that's your bag. But let me get the flyer and you guys can have a little break and shakedown. I'll show you the contact angle anyway. So, we don't know who they're talking about specifically, but it says a competitor. So we're, you know, the competitors out there, you can use what you want, but there is the graph for the contact angle there to show you that they're talking in the high 90s, and they're talking into, you know, after one cycle, 200 scrubs, you know, it's going to last up to 3 months. And so Hydrocoat is the fastest and easiest way to add instant hydrophobic protection to your paint. It's easy to apply product, instantly bonds to the surface, leaving behind an incredibly slick and glossy surface, making ongoing maintenance quick and easy. Independent lab tests reveal that Hydrocoat outperforms its nearest competitor in both quality and performance. It increases water contact angle by 8%, boosts oil repellency by 28%, and delivers a remarkable 80% improvement in surface-free energy. Now, what that basically means, and you'll find this when you're ceramic coating vehicles quite a lot, is that these lower halves down here, and I had this specifically yesterday with the Range Rover, you probably saw on my Instagram page, that you start to get this pooling around here where oil, dirt and contamination can start coming in. And so 28% increase on that is fantastic, because these kind of areas are real high traffic areas when it comes to washing. The slickness is going to be hard to really tell because you can't really monitor that. It's, you know, some cars are obviously contaminated, some cars aren't contaminated. So obviously always when it comes to protection, your best way is to go through it is obviously a full chemical decon clay bar machine polish to get the absolute most results. And so in most settings, it'd be interesting to see on a contaminated vehicle how well it's going to do. But, you know, 8% in contact angle and 28% of oil repellency, and also an 80% improvement in surface-free energy. That's interesting. You just saw me wipe that down with a towel to apply it to level it off when it was wet, and literally we ended up with a dry panel, like instantly. So that is interesting. So when you're doing your testing, if you're interested in that sort of stuff, and like I say, don't take my word for anything that I talk about when it comes on this channel, because all this is based on my experiences as a detailer. And so build a performance, build your idea if you're going to buy this product around it. I mean, so far it's priced in the UK at £12.95, and that's available from Clean and Shiny. You can find that link in the description. This says it's going to be available to buy from the 14th of April, so that's next Monday. So that means it's available on pre-order. So I'll leave a link in the description. You guys can get stuck in. But I'm really interested to know in the comment section what you guys thought of this testing. If you want to see more product testing like this, we've got the weather now. I'm committed to YouTube. We're going to be getting videos out on the main channel. When I say the main channel, we're going to be doing some more videos that are going to be scripted and sent out to you, which is going to be every 2 weeks on a Sunday now. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can get up to date with all the new videos. But we are going to be sticking to some of the formats that I love, and that is this live content, live videos. I've been doing live for 5 years now on Instagram, so it's great to get back into it on YouTube channel and boost the YouTube channel. So yeah, that has been Hydrocoat by Gtechniq, and I've been Johnny Shield Detailing, and I'll see you guys in the next video.